Hello, my beautiful Geminis. Welcome to your reading for September the 10th through 16th, 2023. My name is Dawn. You're listening to Dawn Williams Tarot. If you are new to my channel, thank you for being here. I love to have more people join our community here. And if you are a returning listener, subscriber, I would really like your input as to how you like the layout of the cards for this week. I am always trying to do better than my last offering. So I would really like your feedback if you wouldn't mind being so kind as to let me know how you like this. So I am going to do your reading a little bit different. I will be pulling 3 oracle cards. I'll be doing a full spread for tarot. And then at the very end, I'm going to give you 3 main themes as your takeaways for the reading at the very end. But when I do your actual reading, I'm actually going to take myself off the screen so that you can focus strictly on the cards themselves, because I feel like you'll get a lot more from the reading if you're just focusing on the cards and not, having to worry about, my expressions or whatever. And then this also allows me to just get into a more meditative state, or a more state of being able to bring in more information from my higher self. But again, at the end, I'll come back on and give you your last 3 cards, and then we'll say goodbye for this round. So last week, we worked on our throat chakras. And part of the reason why Spirit had wanted me to work on that space was because this month, we're getting into a huge energy of communication. And it's really important that you speak from your truth, find ways to speak your truth without hurting others intentionally. It's not meant to bring others down or to hurt them. It's really designed for you to be able to speak your truth and be heard, right? And, we still have 6 planets in retrograde. And the main planet that we're actually focusing on specifically in this reading is Mercury. Mercury is about the energy of communication. When Mercury is in retrograde, a lot of things are affected by that energy. And, you may think, oh, it's just another planet or whatever. But if you believe that the moon can affect the tides, when we have a full moon, the tides with the water of the earth are highly affected. And during the full moon, we, as energetic beings, because we are energetic beings, we have an energetic aura around us that is constantly moving, is constantly feeling, is constantly working, right? But we also have the energetics within our body. We have our chakra systems that help regulate all the energies that are going on and around us. We have our energetic body that also helps us with regulation, our body parts, and keeping this physical body moving healthily. So one of the things that gets affected by Mercury retrograde in communication is the breakdown of communication. And that could very well be that you think that you're communicating in a specific way, but the breakdown might not be you. The breakdown might be on the person who is hearing your words, hearing your message. So the guidance was to bring this to your awareness, for one. And the other was to tell you to really slow down. Slow down when you're in communicating something that's very important to you, especially if it's a heart-based kind of a communication. You want to get eye contact from the person. You want to make sure that person can really hear your message, and that there's nothing that's going to block that. Another thing that is affected by Mercury retrograde is electronics. So that could be your car, anything that has electronics in it. It could be, your phone dies, or you have problems with the internet, or you have problems with your banking system, or there's a bunch of things that are affected by these electronics, and this is the time those things usually rear their ugly heads, is during this phase. So some of the things that you are working through as a soul in a body during these retrogrades is we have an opportunity to look back and reevaluate some of our choices in our lives and some of the things that may be triggering you. And it could be a repeating lesson that you're not even aware of. Like maybe you have this pattern and you're not aware of the pattern yet. So it just keeps coming back. I mean, the lessons keep coming and it feels like you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. Well, that is a reevaluation. That is a a revisit. Excuse me, I need to get a drink. So the best thing to do during the Mercury retrograde is to work with all these names, like regroup, refocus, rebuild, redo, rebalance, refuel. Excuse me. Throat chakra. Rebirth, revisit, reflect, realign, recreate. And then my two favorites are relax. Because we're such a busy society and we have such busy lives that we really truly don't really give ourselves enough time to relax. And that one is important because in order for you to be able to give out to others, to be of service to others, your cup has to be full. And the only way you're going to get your cup to be full is if you take the time to refill it yourself. Nobody else is responsible for that. You are responsible for that. So take that as ownership. And then the last one is rejoice. Now, many times when you hear that word rejoice, that brings you right back to, going to church as a child and or maybe even going to church now, because you rejoice in the fact that you are reconnecting with the God of your heart, right? But I feel like we really need to bring that energy into our lives every day. And this is something that you really have to work on because there's so many distractions, right? And kind of the reason why Spirit has really pushed me out into, this YouTube land is because part of the things that Spirit really wants us to know is that we really have to work on ourselves. We are in a spiritual battle right now. We need to make a decision as to what direction do we want to evolve as souls on the planet of Earth. And, Gaia is going through her own ascension process. She has been granted approval to move up into the fifth dimension. Well, if you're wanting to stay as a soul on that third dimensional level, you are not going to be able to ride this wave into the fifth dimension on the planet with her. And this is one of those experiences that is a, once in a lifetime. This hasn't happened. From the information that we're able to glean, this hasn't happened before. So we are in a very opportune time and a very opportune moment. Okay, so those are all the things that Spirit has wanted me to share with you so far. I'm going to go ahead and pull your cards. And in order for me to do that, I'm going to take myself offline here so you can just focus strictly on the cards itself, but you'll still be able to hear the explanation of what those cards mean. So let's figure out how to get me off here. Hide self view. Okay. Very good. All right. So I've already shuffled your cards. Your cards are ready to go. And then I'll explain what these rows mean as we go. I was asked to use a different deck for you than I have for the other readings that I've done. Oh my God, beautiful, beautiful card. Okay. Okay, Geminis. Wow. This is pretty amazing. okay? When I'm looking at this, you have quite a bit of major arcana cards. This is your first major arcana, which is the Sun. This is your second, which is Temperance. And then this is all three of these are major arcana. So that means that you're actually going to be working in these energies for a while. So when you look at this spread, I have this OCD thing. I like things to look straight, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to attain that. Anyway, so this column right here is your past leading up to this week of September the 10th. Okay, so this is the past leading up. This would be your present information for the week of the 10th. And then this is what you're working towards working on for your future. Okay, so when I look at this card, it states, my kindness is a gift I bestow upon the world. Kindness. I really love the word kindness because it doesn't take anything for us to be kind, right? And then we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is an energy of, so first of all, this is a feminine energy. However, this doesn't necessarily have to be gender specific. I don't read as though all of my cards specifically mean one or the other, although it does embrace and embody the energy of that card. So the Queen of Swords is a very logical and methodical queen. Her energy is, she's a deep thinker. She's a clear communicator. She's fair, she's balanced, she has wisdom. Okay, so this energy could very much be you, or this could be someone that you have that is close to you. Her energy is one of an analytical thinker because of the swords here. Swords represent how we think, how we express with our mind, right? And she's kind of looking off into the distance. She does have her sword here, but she's in a relaxed position because she's reflecting. The next card is the Sun card, and the Sun card is our wish card, really. The Sun card is a card of happiness and joy, and just look at her. She is just allowing that sun energy to fill her, rejuvenate her, nurture her. This is a very happy, beautiful card in that this is the energy that you were tapping into. Now, the thing is this is a major arcana card. So it isn't as though because this is in your past position that it's done and over. I feel that it takes about a year for us to work through all the energies of each of the major arcanas, depending on, where we are in our process of evolution. But this is a card that is about renewal and rejuvenation, and it is an answer to a long-awaited wish, really. But then we have this Five of Cups, and somehow or another, there's also this energy of loss. So fives have to do with changes. And if you look at her, it looks as though she has this sadness that's being pulled right out of her and is going down the drain. So this card can represent depression. It can represent sadness. It can represent loss, right? And if you look at her, she's got her foot in her cup. So this is a loss of some sort that is affecting her emotions. This is a sadness that's within her. Something has happened that she is sad about. So I feel as though you also have this sun energy. So there's this split, right? Some of you are going to really feel exuberant, and some of you are going to have this loss. Not all of you, but maybe you know someone that is going through a difficult time, and maybe you are being requested to, help them. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's someone you know, someone that you love, somebody that's close to you that is in this kind of a state, right? So this right here, I feel, is in your past. So you are moving past this energy now. And as it is not a major arcana, this is a faster moving energy that you can work through. And then we have Buffalo Spirit. I think this is a beautiful card. Buffaloes to me represent, you know, the indigenous tribes to the United States. They would hunt buffalo, but when they would hunt buffalo, they utilized every bit of the buffalo and they would give gratitude and thanks. And the message of this says the abundant universe will provide. So if you have any feelings of, you know, where you're feeling stressed out about money, or you are feeling stressed out about your finances or how you're going to make ends meet, what this card shows me is that the universe will always provide. I do believe that in my heart. I mean, there have been times when I've had very, very little money and something would come along and spirit would just provide for me. And I just always have believed that there is so much abundance in the world. There's so much here. And where we get blocked in our abundance space is when we believe that we don't deserve it or there isn't enough, and then we start worrying about it, right? So this card is telling you, if you are in that space where you're worrying about finances, you're worrying about how ends are going to meet, how you're going to get through something, the suggestion has always been to me from spirit is I have to change my attitude about it. If I can change my attitude, shift my thinking, be grateful for the things that I have, be grateful for the people in my life, find that area of gratitude, it opens up that space of abundance. Okay? Because look at your next card. Your next card is the Nine of Pentacles. Pentacles has to do with our physical security, our wealth, our health, our possessions, and our home. A lot of times when I see this card specifically, like if you look at her, she looks all bright and happy because she's got a plethora of, you know, wealth and abundance around her, right? She's reaching up. She's got this dove here that is actually blessing her as well. So I feel as though if this attitude of abundance is lacking for you, that you will be tapping into this energy of feeling more abundant and feeling more prosperous this next week, okay? Nines in tarot are about attaining, progression, and advancement. So I feel like you're going to be working on that prosperity aspect here next week. And then you have the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is, to me, is a choice. So twos are about choices. Pentacles is again about money. So it could very well be that you might have two things that are going to be, you know, you're going to have to make decisions on if you're going to pay this or you're going to pay that, or you're going to be balancing and juggling money in some way. Okay. On the normal tarot, this is a guy who is spinning plates. And basically what he has to do is just make a decision. But the other part of it is that it doesn't have to be a very difficult decision for you. It could very well be that maybe you're offered two new jobs or a way to bring in additional money for you next week, for the week of the 10th. And it will be blessed, whatever you do, with this Temperance card. So Temperance is a card of caution and balance, and to think things through. If you look at the energy on here, you can see this swirling energy, right? So he's balancing the dark and the light. he has this angelic presence that is lighting his space for him, because he's going within himself to be able to find his own answers. So it could very well be that you've got some choices to make, because again, you have this 2 as well as this Temperance card. Just the caution would be to think things through before you move forward. And then you have, now this is going to be in your future vibration. Raise your vibration is a mantra that calls me to light up. So you are raising your own vibration. You are making the decision to bring in more light within yourself, to focus on the positives, right? Because then you've got all these major arcana. You have this Judgment card, right? And if you look at her, she looks like she's being freed, right? And Judgment has to do with an awakening or awareness, or seeing something with a new set of eyes. I feel as though the Judgment card is telling you that there's going to be a truth revealed, because that's exactly what the Justice card brings into the mix, that this is the truth and you're on the right path and you're discovering a truth. Okay, now both of these cards are very powerful together, because this is telling me that in this future space, you're going to find your inner strength, you're going to find your inner wisdom, you are going to be able to discern much more easily. This whole week is telling me that you are going to really activate and light up, that you're really going to be quite passionate about your spiritual growth, and perhaps you're going to be having some type of a spiritual downloads from your higher self. There's going to be information that's going to come into you, that's going to come to you, that is going to help you really just activate and raise your vibration for the week. Now, this Strength card is also a card of willpower and inner strength, but it's also about a card of concentration, right? So it looks like to me that you're going to be accessing your higher self information, that this is information that's going to bring you a deeper awareness of yourself. And this is perfect, Gemini. This is perfect because you're going to find your balance. You're going to find your balance between your spiritual and your physical realities, your 5D reality, your 3D reality. All of this energy is coming up for you here as you prepare, right? As you make these decisions, as you really think about a step forward, and then this is what you're creating. So this looks really, really exceptional. I'm going to go ahead and bring myself back on screen. Hi. And then I'm going to pull your 3 main themes for the week. Now, you can use these as a mantra, or you can use these as just energies for you to tap into and to think about additionally. The first one is Valley, and the message reads, deep personal strength and peace that assure success. So this really, really confirms this whole future energy right here. I love it. The Valley, deep personal strength and peace that assures success. And then you have the 4-leaf clover. Yay! That's awesome. This is about great good fortune. So good fortune, right? So this all has to tie into this abundant universe will provide for you. And then your last card is the Axe. Now this one you might really want to take notice of, because it says that forces are working against you. So I don't know if this is exterior forces or if it's you're struggling with your own self, maybe a concept that you have, maybe you're going to release a long time belief, right? That you may have been hanging on to for a long time. And that's going to tap into this new awareness for you, right? Whatever this is. But what I would suggest, I don't know if you have a spiritual practice where you do protect your space every day. I create the armor of God when I start my day. I sit in meditation. I ask Spirit what they want me to know, what they want me to work on for the day. And then I will put on my armor of God. And the armor of God is you ask Spirit to help you put on your shoes of grace, your belt of truth, your sword of the Spirit, your shield of faith, your breastplate of righteousness, and your crown of awareness or your crown of awakening. I typically utilize 4 of the angels for that. I ask Sandalphon to give me my shoes of grace. I ask Metatron, Archangel Metatron, for my belt of truth. I ask Archangel Michael for my sword and my shield. And I ask Archangel Uriel for my breastplate of righteousness. And then Metatron to put on my crown, because Metatron is the archangel that oversees all the angels, right? That's his realm of responsibility. So he gives me my footing, my grounding, and he gives me my crown so I can connect to the God source or to my higher self. I hope you have found this reading helpful. This looks amazing to me. I hope you have a great week. Please let me know if you like this layout, and I really appreciate your comments. Until next time, take care of you and enjoy your amazing week.